Yo, welcome back to Pyrite Farms. So, I, I was meaning to get this video up a little earlier, but Buddy mine wanted to go fishing, so we headed out to the lake and went fishing. Anyway, so for this video, I'm kind of working on my seedling cart. I did have a light on it. It was up right here, but it's a cheap light, really only made for small house plants, not really growing anything. So my one buddy who I went fishing with today, he grew his own plants indoors from seed last year, and he led me on to some recommendations on the type of lights he uses, and he was satisfied with them. So reluctantly, I am purchasing these lights. They really didn't want to spend that much money, this much money on this cart, but you know, I had the cart around and I needed space to work on my seedlings. So the seed cart. So the top of the cart can hold 3 of these trays. 72 cells in each of them, so that's 216 if my math is correct. So I mean that's a good start. I mean it's more than what I'm gonna need, so I'm gonna end up selling off some seedlings this year, this year. And I'm on the fence about it, but I might put some plywood down on the bottom shelf and I can fit 2 more of these trays in. And I don't know, I'm still on the fence about it. I don't know if I want to jump in and do that much right off the bat. I'm taking orders from friends and family on seedlings that they are going to want. So I mean, I got a good bit, not that many, but yeah. So for the lighting, the lights I'm getting are hanging lights, which is fine and dandy for the bottom, but I don't exactly have anything to hang them from the top. I thought about hanging the lights from the ceiling in the basement, but that would have to defeat the purpose of the seed cart. So the reason I have, I'm doing all my seedlings on the cart is once the weather starts warming up, gets a little nicer out, warmer days I can take them outside. I can take them outside, have them outside for the day. Which, it doesn't affect where the light's at. If the light's on top, that doesn't matter. Or if the light's hanging from the ceiling, I mean, it doesn't matter. But the reason I don't want hanging from the ceiling is because I'm fixated at that one area. Whereas if I have it mounted to the cart in some manner, I can move. So say beginning of the day, lights coming in this window, I can have the seedlings at that window. If it's coming in the other window at the end of the day, I can move it over there at the end of the day. Just keeping it mobile. Also certain parts of the house. If there's a nice breeze outside, I was told circulation helps really well. So if there's a nice breeze outside, depending on which way it's coming from, I can move the seedlings to the window where it's blowing in. As for the lighting on the top, I thought about going with just doing some PVC work. Just adding 2 ribs, maybe along the legs of the cards, to tie them into place, and bending it to make them meet in the middle and run a spine down the top, which the light would be mounted on. But I ultimately decided to go against that, one, because I don't know how these lights will be around PVC. I don't know if I've never used full spectrum grow lights. I don't know if it could cause the PVC to break or melt or get weak. I was told they put out a little bit of heat. I don't know how much. Like I said, never used them. So, because I'm taking orders, I obviously don't want the light to fall. Not that I'm concerned about a fire hazard, more so that I don't think you want the light to be super close to the plants, because it can, according to my buddy, it can dry them out. And yeah, you know, I'm handling the quality of other people's products, not a good thing when you're, you know, selling plants if they're half dead because the light was too close. So ultimately I decided to go with 2 aquarium or terrarium, whatever they're for, light stands. And these stands, they mount under the aquarium tank, and the support of it is, or the upright of it's behind the aquarium, and it hangs over. I had to get 2 of them because these stands, the ones that have 2 hooks, they're too close for the lights I'm getting. And I had to buy 2 of the individual stands, and what I'm going to do is I got a piece of sheet metal on the bottom, so I'm going to set it off wherever I need to set it on the cart, drill some holes down into the plywood on top. Plus these stands, I think they can extend up to a foot outward, which will give me plenty of adjustment to adjust the light to get centered where it needs to be above my seed trays. And I think I can adjust like 16 to 31 inches is what it said, height wise. So as the plants grow, I can lift up the light and get it where it needs to be. And as for the bottom, you know, there's plenty of clearance here on the bottom. All I can do to adjust the light there is just tighten and loosen the chain. Loosen it, make it lower, tighten it, raise it up. So that's not a problem. Because I'll probably just run chains or bungee cords, whatever, around the top of it. And yeah. So this right here is what I have so far. I'm probably gonna get some pouches or something that I can put on the back here, hang any gardening tools, gloves, pruning shears, stuff like that. I already got my gardening knife, so that's a start. And I've thought about it. I don't know if I want to do it yet. Is building a water catch to catch the excess water, and I can just cycle it back in, save on the water. As for watering, so upstairs I have an aquarium. I have 2 pots sitting there. It got tubes hanging down into the aquarium, and the whole thing gets filled up with soil. So the water soaks in, the soil sponges it up, spreads it through the pot, and it seems like it works well. The fish I have are, well, bait fish, so all the plants in the aquarium are natural. In reality, I don't need to feed these fish that often. These fish, the species of fish they are, feed off of the plants that I have in the aquarium. They eat the roots, and fertilize the water, if you will. And that gets sucked up into the filter. Honestly, I don't even need a filter because the plants kind of cycle everything out anyhow. Which my aquarium is almost 100% self-sustaining. But going back to the plants, so they're living off of this dirty aquarium water. And they're thriving. I haven't had any problems. Everything's natural. I don't use chemicals. I don't use any fancy doodads you see to clean and whatnot. It's all natural. Even water, if I add soil to the plants, even like that first watering, so I can avoid the plants going into shock, adding dry soil to it, I water it with the water from the aquarium. I just use a little cup, scoop some water out, and pour it in the pots. And that seems to be working. So for watering, since everything's organic, no additives, no chemicals, no nothing, they're hardy fish. They're fish native to my area. They're very hardy. They don't need all that added stuff. I'm using that. Now, I'm also using eggshell and bone and, baking that, getting it dry, then grinding it down to make bone meal, which is great for plants, high in calcium. It's great. It works well. It works wonders. Another thing I've been doing is banana water. Take a banana, soak it in water. Once it soaks in the water, it's discolored and everything, you use that, water your plants. That kind of gets things growing. Even for like any mold issues with those plants, just send them in. If you have problems where you're accidentally overwatering your plants and mold's growing, first off, slow down the watering them. You don't want like root rot or anything like that. Second off, to kill off the mold, cinnamon, mix it into the soil. It's amazing. It works wonders. It's probably the best advice I've ever gotten. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to use a combination of that for watering plants. It's natural fertilizer, really. And going off of what I've learned from these little experiments I did with like tomato plants and whatnot, last year's crop, the plants that my parents actually had planted, I took some tomatoes, took the seeds, dried them out, preserved them, whatever you need to do to garden them next year. And I'll take a few of them, maybe 10 or 15 at a time, put them in a pot, a little soil over top. And with how I've been watering them and whatnot, they pop up. Just in a short period of time, they get really big. So I'm thinking about using these methods for my seedlings to get more growth out of the plants, more fruit. I think it will work well. And if anybody's got any suggestions, let me know, because I'm still kind of new to all this. Suggestions help. Now, plants I'm growing so far: tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, zucchinis. They'll all be started around the same time. I already got garlic. Onions are pretty straightforward. I plan to do lettuce, carrots, potatoes. Asparagus is already out there. I think there are some other things. I can't remember what they're. Oh, sweet peas, snow peas, string beans, stuff like that. But yeah, if anybody's got suggestions on great ways to get a good harvest, a lot of fruits and whatnot, let me know. I'm only working out of a 48 square foot garden. I have a hoop house, just greenhouse plastic, PVC piping, and some framework for a door. Nothing special. I want to say it was budget, but it was kind of not. Because if any of you have bought greenhouse plastic, you know it's not cheap. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to go over this, what I'm planning to do with it, and just kind of keep track of what I'm doing, so for future reference I can look back on it and say, okay, that didn't work, I gotta change it and do this. It's the whole point of this channel, is just so I can obviously get help from anybody watching these videos, any advice, anything like that, and to kind of keep track of my progress and learn from my mistakes. And maybe in turn teach people who really want to get into homesteading and farmsteading to also learn from my mistakes, so they're not making the same mistakes. Yep. Alright, I think that covers everything. Welcome to 2023. Hopefully it's a better year than the past couple of years. This video would have been posted, I don't know if it's going to be posted, but it would have been made on the 1st. Like I said, it's been a busy weekend, so. Alright, have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.